Tri-State and the biggest issues in Washington. What are your lawmakers saying about healthcare, North Korea, President Trump, and the state of our politics? We have insights from 4 of your representatives, what they are telling us next on This Week in Cincinnati.
The people, the headlines, the issues impacting you and your family. This Week in Cincinnati on 9 on Your Side.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Cincinnati. With so much going on in Washington, 9 on Your Side is working to get your representatives' perspectives on the developments there. And joining us right now is Congressman Warren Davidson. He represents Butler County and Ohioans and 5 other counties within the 8th Congressional District. Welcome to This Week in Cincinnati.
Thank you.
Well, we are here. You're on break right now, and this is something that you had actually said you would hope to stay to continue working. You weren't necessarily in favor of Congress going on this break right now. What was your main focus? Why did you want to stay back and continue working?
Well, the big thing is August is coming up, and that's a longer scheduled break. And so when people think Congress is in recess, a lot of times the perception is, hey, they're just on vacation, right? They are at work. Really, it means the House isn't in session. Usually, like today, this is, I think, my 5th or 6th event today. So you're out meeting with constituents. So certainly want to do that. The trouble is that we're going into a period where we haven't passed a budget, so we didn't have an agreed upon budget number. We haven't finished health care reform. We haven't made significant progress on tax reform. We've got a debt ceiling coming up, and we haven't passed a single appropriations bill because the budget's the first thing that has to pass. All that's supposed to happen by September 30th. So when you look at that, if you've only got a couple weeks left in July, I'm not sure we can afford to not be there. But I'm not for being there just to pass, rename some post offices or something. If we can stay there and make sure we're doing those things, that'd be worth doing.
Get some real work. For those of you not familiar with Congressman Davidson, you were 12-year enlisted in the Army, West Point grad as well. You're from Troy, married, you have 2 children, and you're a businessman. What made you decide to go up against 15 other Republicans for the primary and then to go after John Boehner's empty seat? You're a businessman. What made you decide to say, I want to go into politics?
Well, first of all, John Boehner had resigned, so that was pretty unexpected. So I wasn't planning to run for Congress at the time. I was just actually planning on working on the business. We were starting to talk about another acquisition. So I'd worked in manufacturing after I got out of the Army. And I just had a couple people that had come and talked to me and said, hey, just getting to know you. We were getting to know each other, and they said, so who do you like in this race? And I said, well, I know this person and that person's running. And the question was, well, is that who you're going to support? And that's really when I started thinking, well, I don't know. So I went back to why did I get out of the military? And a lot of it goes back to the same reasons. I was happy as a career soldier, but I got out in 2000 because we really hadn't settled on a foreign policy. We hadn't settled on something after the Cold War, and we vacillated. Unfortunately, I was accurate in the vacillation. Politically, you've got kind of the John McCain camp. I'm sure he's working on a way to get in a couple wars right now. And then you've got the other camp where when I was in Ranger Regiment in 1998, our embassies in Kenya and Tanzania were bombed by Al-Qaeda. And we sent over the FBI. So that's the other end of foreign policy and diplomacy. Call it the see no evil end. And we didn't have that. And I looked at who in the field can speak to that has experienced those things, and I didn't see that person. And then the other part is just some of the things in the business perspective. It's like, we need somebody that's got a lot of experience, but maybe a different sort of experience. And so I saw, kind of your traditional political guys, both of whom I like personally, but I felt like, hey, maybe we need different results. Maybe we need a different sort of experience.
All right, so let's talk about, you mentioned international affairs. North Korea, obviously a major headline in recent weeks with the launch of the intercontinental ballistic missile and its reach to potentially reach Alaska or perhaps other parts of the U.S. Where do you see this landing? Is this just North Korea, saber rattling like they've done for decades, or is this something more serious from your viewpoint?
Well, I think it's significantly more serious, and it's more serious because the consequences keep getting higher. And so as we've had an accommodating policy, if you remember back in the 90s, Bill Clinton had this solved. We were going to work out this deal and lift some sanctions, and North Korea was going to abandon their development of nuclear weapons. Well, now they're threatening us with those same nuclear weapons that they abandoned. Well, clearly they didn't abandon them. And so, the agreements we negotiate have to be, meaningful. They can't just be, happy dance, celebrate the wins. They actually have to have real results. And so I think,
how can you force North Korea to do anything and comply with anything?
I think really the leverage is with China. I think President Trump started out on that path. He's made an effort to make it work, but he's also called them out and he said, you know, hey, trade is up in first quarter by 40% with North Korea. You say one thing, you do another thing. That can't continue to happen. And China has the most leverage because they're able to circumvent the strong trade sanctions that we've got. They're isolated effectively, but not with China. So China provides that loophole. And the other part is they do business through these shell companies around the world. They don't come in and say, hey, we're with North Korea, we just want to buy some oil. They create a whole series of LLCs. These are, you know, covered. And the good news is our intel folks are on to that. They've got good programs. I'm on a subcommittee for terrorism and illicit finance. And so, yeah, more to follow on that.
When the incident with Otto Warmbier and him being held captive in North Korea and then finally his release, and fortunately he did make it back home, his family was able to say goodbye before he passed here in the tri-state. But what does that say about what the U.S. truly needs to be doing with North Korea and the fact that North Korea, they're playing on a different field. They're not listening to what we are asking them to do.
And not just the United States. I mean, this is the world community that supported this, except for some actions by China and most recently by Russia. So, but yeah, you know, if you look at this, you know, this guy did not die because he was sentenced to excessive punishment and hard labor. He didn't die from working hard. He died because he was mistreated at the hands of the North Korean government. Perhaps the people in North Korea are good people. It's hard to have a relationship with those folks. Sure. It's a very closed country. But we know their leaders are not good people. And so we have to really pay attention to that. We need to put some teeth to our actions. And if China and Russia won't help us do that, then we have to really look at the considerations we do. I think every option has to be on the table. And including things that say, hey, what is the level of our security commitment to South Korea? Because I've been concerned as President Obama has you know, done some questionable things in foreign policy, gone over and had some sort of meeting with the leader of South Korea. The South Korean leader's taken some actions that say, hey, yeah, thanks for the missile defense system, but you know, we're more concerned about the environment over here and where we set these missile defense, you know, shield system, you know, the program to defend the country is taking a backseat to their environmental concerns. And so this is a guy that's kind of going down that far left ideology where see no evil in the midst of increasing threats. So I think we have to say, hey, if you really want us to be in the South Korean peninsula, then you have to show us that. And we're happy to support you, but we're defending South Korea and Japan here, not the United States of America. Though it is getting to a point where it could be a threat to the United States directly.
Absolutely. All right. We do want to talk about health care. In fact, health care is a very hot topic. We're going to speak about health care with Congressman Warren Davidson just after the break. Keep it here.